Desert Falcon is one of two games released last week by Atari as part of a series they're calling Flashback Fridays that utilize a new 7800 emulator for the VCS. Atari plans to release two games every Friday from their 7800 and PC catalog, with the PC games utilizing a VCS version of DOSBox, which is an emulator that allows people to play old x86 PC games. Both Desert Falcon and Basket Brawl cost $2.99 and start to answer Atari's claims to bring retro ROMs and emulation to the console. Desert Falcon was initially a launch title for the Atari 7800 in 1987, and a version for the Atari 2600 was released at the same time. You play as a Falcon, collecting Hyros, shooting enemies, and battling an end boss, Sphinx. If you defeat the Sphinx, you go to a treasure level where you collect as many points as possible within a short time limit, and then it's on to the next stage with a different colored world and increased difficulty. Desert Falcon owes a lot to the early 80s arcade game Zaxxon, in particular its isometric perspective that forces you to consider height as well as horizontal positioning. The game is pretty hard, and the gameplay itself can be a bit obtuse unless you read the manual. Reading the manual clues you in to the most important thing to learn, which is that when you collect 3 Hyros, you get a bonus ability or points, and each combination offers a different bonus. Some bonuses clear enemies from the screen bomb style, and 2 are critical if you want to defeat the Sphinx on harder difficulties. 1 makes you invincible, while the other freezes the Sphinx and makes it unable to launch enemies at you. You use the second button to fire off these abilities when needed. Even the manual doesn't say, though, which combinations do what, so figuring out which combinations is the biggest part of getting good at the game. You play the game using either a VCS Classic or Modern controller, or a keyboard. If you use the keyboard, the arrow keys control movement, Z and X control firing, R starts the game, and O gets to the menu. The keyboard controls don't appear to be listed anywhere, which is why I'm including it here. The game is overall pretty fun, although it does suffer a bit due to the isometric perspective, which frequently caused me at least to slam into pillars even though I didn't think I was going to hit them. The emulation itself seems flawless, although I have to admit I've only played the 2600 version until now. While you can get an image of the controls by going into the detail panel of the game of the Atari OS home screen, the game itself doesn't include the manual, which is a bit of an odd oversight. You can get the manual for the 2600 version in the Atari Vault, so I'd recommend reading that before playing. Additionally, the 2600 version of the game plays very similar and is available for free in the Vault on the VCS. The main difference is in the quality of the graphics, with the 7800 version obviously being far superior to the VCS version. However, the 2600 version shows just how much designers were able to get out of the then decade-old system in 1987, which is pretty impressive in its own right. It's great to see Atari start releasing ROMs for the VCS, even if they come with a $3 price tag. I'd love to be able to load my own ROMs up, but so far that doesn't seem to be something Atari intends to support. I look forward to these Flashback Fridays, and I'll definitely be along for the ride. Thanks for watching. I'll have more VCS game reviews in the coming weeks, including a look at the other 7800 game release called Basket Brawl, along with the recharged version of Black Widow, arriving in time for Halloween. Give me a like if you enjoyed the video, and hit subscribe if you'd like to get these reviews into your subscription feed. Have fun!